Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's only O. Hope you guys are having a good day. Hope everything you're striving for is coming into full tuition. I want to say thank you guys for the support that you've given me over the course of this channel. I know I've been a little inconsistent with uploading, but that's going to change real soon. Today, guys, I want to start giving you more story time. So for today, I'm going to give you the story about how I had a quickie in a church bathroom and my first time smoking pot. So with that being said, let's jump straight into it. So I want to start off by saying, not cool. Don't do it. It's nothing to really quote unquote brag about. But we're gonna talk about the time I had a quickie in a church bathroom and how that led to be and everything that came from it. So for story content, I'm gonna reference the girl I was messing with as V, as in Victor. I know that's probably a horrible choice to pick, but we're gonna use V just for, confidential purposes. But I got invited to this party. I was like 19 years old. And this girl V, she ended up hitting me up on Instagram. She was like, hey Lando, I got a little block party going on. I got a couple of people that are coming through if you want to slide. Just try to bring something. It doesn't even have to be food. And I'm like, all right, cool. That's a vibe. I'm down for it. So she sends me the address. The party eventually comes to be. I arrive there. Everybody's having fun. Everybody's drinking. So me and V are yapping, and, she's talking about how, she just broke up with her boyfriend a couple of months back, and, he's been hitting her up, and, I'm not trying to be Captain Save-A-Ho, but, I'm just listening to her, just letting her rant, letting her talk her shit. So eventually one of her friends come up, and she's asking her like, hey V, do you have anything to smoke? And she's like, nah, I could call somebody if you want, we could go pick it up. He lives like 10 minutes walking down the street. And her friend goes, yeah, that's cool. I just don't want to walk alone. So V looks at me and she's like, oh, if we walk down to the plug's place, you want to come with us just for, safety purposes. And I was like, yeah, sure. It'd be a cool little walk, get away from the noise. So V goes upstairs, gets her money, comes back down. We end up walking to the plug's place, grab a little eighth, come back. Party's still going, everybody's still doing their thing. So by this point, it's nighttime. It's probably like 6:30, music's blasting, grill's still going, everybody's having fun, fire hydrants cracked open. And at some point, I started noticing V taking shots, and she's like, take a shot with me. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I'm not a real drinker like that. I'm not a heavy drinker in the slightest bit. So I'll take 3-4 shots and I'm feeling great. You know what I mean? So I'm like, yeah, sure. We're going for the vibe. Let's just keep the momentum going. So a couple of shots later passes by and V's like, hey, follow me real quick. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm thinking she needs help with whatever the fuck that she got going on at the party, and we go to like the living room. And, we're sitting, I'm thinking we're about to watch TV, there's a couple of people nearby. And she's like, you want to do something? And I'm thinking it's a favor. I'm thinking we got to do something productive. And she's like, you want to have some fun? And I'm like, oh shit, what kind of fun are you talking about? And then things start escalating. She starts kissing me on my neck. She starts, filling up on me. I'm like, there's like fucking 6 people here, lady. And 3 of them are like adults. We're 19, these fucking people are like 30. So, we start traversing around the house, trying to find an area to where we can just, do what we got to do. And there's always somebody around, either somebody really close, there's somebody in the actual area itself, or flat out these spots weren't going to work. It's like, going to the bathroom, it's like, there's like fucking 30 people here. Somebody's going to knock eventually and you got to get out. What are you doing? But she ends up looking at me and she's like, I know a spot, but you're going to have to give me a minute until I can figure out how we could get there. And I'm thinking where are we going that you have to take time to think about how we're getting there? So I'm thinking she's about to do the most extra shit known to mankind. So I'm already not on board. I'm like, yeah, nah, whatever you got planned, I'm probably not going for it. So she comes back and she's like, hey, I found a spot, follow me. So I'm like, oh shit, okay, let's go, see what we got going. And I'm following her through her backyard and I see this metal gate and she opens the gate, and it's like this really big backyard. Mind you, at this point, it's nighttime, like damn near 8:30 at night. And, you know, I'm following her. I'm not really seeing where we're going. I see like this is like another house, it looks like. I'm like, what the hell? So we walk up these stairs. She opens this back door. Now, in my head, I have a million questions. But at the same time, I'm thinking, all right, we about to get nasty in this bitch. So we're about to do what we gotta do. So I follow her upstairs. She opens the door. We go through the door. Now, to the left, there's another staircase that's leading up to the, you know, another floor. And to the right, there's just a single door. And in front of us, it's double doors, but they have like these glass panels that you could like kind of half-ass see through them, but you really can't. So I'm like, all right, whatever. So she ends up going up the stairway to go to the second floor. And as I'm following her, there's another door. And this door is actually a bathroom door. So I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Little private spot. You know, nobody's here. Lights are off, whatever. So, you know, things start heating up in the bathroom. You know, things start coming off. I go to hoist this bitch up on the fucking sink. And she lets out a fuck, but it sounded like a fuck, not in a sexy way, but like a fuck like, oh, I'm in pain way. But I'm so caught up in the moment, I'm thinking it's a fuck in a good way. I'm like, what's going on? She's like, you just threw me into the back of the fucking faucet. So now that I just got done damn near Batman snapping this woman's back because I threw her onto the sink, you know, I felt kind of bad. I was like, damn, I'm sorry. You know, we ended up handling our business. You know, we do the nasty. Everything's fine and great. Now, we go back down the staircase that we just came from. And she's like, hold up, wait a second. I don't want them seeing us coming from the back. Let's go out through the front. So mind you, still thinking nothing of it. Remember that double door that I mentioned earlier where you could like kind of half-ass see through the window but you really can't? She pushes those double doors open. Lord and behold, I see Christ on the cross, and my heart dropped to like the bottom. It damn near dropped to hell. Like my stomach shriveled up and looked like the lady in the wheelchair from SpongeBob that was yapping about chocolate. I felt so nauseated to my stomach. I was like, oh no, Father God, forgive me, please. And she's looking at me, and V goes, what's the problem? I'm like, the problem is we just got done fucking on holy grounds. Like, we just got done fucking in a church bathroom. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you know, I felt horrible, like absolutely horrible. I was like, oh my God, Father, forgive me. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm an asshole. There was this little like thing of like, you know, those things that they give you where, you know, they bless you and you like take the little cracker thing and they put it on your tongue and you eat it. There were like 3 of them there in like a row. And I was like, if I eat these, well, you know, obviously, you know, you repent for your sins and things of that nature. But at that time, in that moment, I wasn't thinking rational. And I was just like, oh my God, I just got done fucking in a church bathroom. I need to get myself together. So, you know, we walk past Christ and we walk out the doors. And I'm looking at her like, how many people have you bought here that you know to casually go through the back of your house into the church to get a nut off? Like, what actually just happened? So now I'm having all these conflicting thoughts running through my head. I can't even enjoy the fact that I just got done fucking. And everything's just kind of like a big blur. I'm like, oh man, this fucking lady sucks. Can't believe she did that. Like, this is kind of grimy. Like, you know, it was fun, but it wasn't worth it. You know, I'm thinking everything in this moment. So V looks back at me. She's like, what's your problem? Like, you look like sick to your stomach. And I repeat myself. I'm like, bitch, I just told you. We just got done fucking in a church bathroom. I feel absolutely horrible for what I just did. And she was like, yeah, but you know, it's like, it's okay. Like, you know, God forgives. I'm like, this whore. But she's right. God does forgive, but that's besides the point. But with that being said, guys, I'm going to jump into the second segment of this video, which is the first time I ended up smoking pot. All right, so part 2 of story time, first time smoking pot. Now, this one's a little bit interesting because originally when I was younger, I had no interest in smoking pot. I was like, all right, cool, whatever. You know, like friends are doing it, not a big deal. You know, father does it, whatever. But my first time smoking pot was actually with my uncle. And he came down to visit one day. And he was like, hey, you know, I'm coming by. I'm about to, you know, spend a few days there. You know, just want to get out of, you know, South Jersey and just kind of want to, you know, hang out. You know, everybody's cool with it. Nobody has a problem. During this part of life, I had a real bad, like, case of insomnia. Like, I really wasn't sleeping. Life was rough. You know, I'm like 16 at this point. So my uncle notices during his stay there that I'm like not nodding off at all. Like, I'm not sleeping. Like, 2 out of the 4 days he was there, I was just wide awake, just up all night playing the game, going to school, coming back home, up all night playing the game again, going to school the next day, kind of, you know, scenario. So my uncle was, you know, asking me all these questions. He's like, yo, like, what's going on? Like, why are you not sleeping? I'm like, man, I don't even know, bro. I'm just, you know, on the go. And at this point, he's like, you know, what have you tried? I'm like, I haven't tried anything. You know, I'm not really thinking about trying anything. Excuse me. So he's like, all right, well, I'm tired of hearing you, you know, talk to your buddies at fucking 3 a.m, laughing and talking shit on the game. So I got an idea. So he runs out the house. He comes back like an hour or so later, and he's like, how do you want to smoke this? And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, looking at him crazy, like, smoke what? And he pulls out a bag of pot, and I'm like, oh shit, like, you know, cool. This is gonna be my first time smoking pot. And he's like, no peer pressure. Like, if you don't want to do it, you don't have to do it. But people smoke this to help them sleep. And I was like, oh shit, all right, cool. Like, you know, why not? Let's go for it. So from everything I've seen, I've always seen people rolling blunts. So I'm assuming he's going to roll a blunt. Absolutely not. He does nothing of the sort. This fucking guy starts crafting a grav bong. Now, a grav bong essentially is basically where you have like a 2-liter bottle of anything, soda, juice, whatever the fuck, just 2-liter bottle. And you do some concoctions to it where, you know, you could take the cap off or cut it in half. It's a process. Like, I'll try to find a fucking video of somebody doing it. But long story short, it's basically a bong. So I'm watching him craft this grav bong. Now, mind you, I'm feeling like I'm watching somebody build a nuclear reactor, because I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, all this just to smoke. Like, I don't think I want to smoke if I have to do all this shit. So he ends up finishing the grav bong. He packs a little bowl and he rips it first. He's like, do exactly what I did and just exhale. Don't try to hold it in, just exhale. Now, mind you, never smoked. The only thing that ever entered my lungs was oxygen, Norc oxygen at that, so probably not the healthiest to begin with. But I go pack a bowl, he lights it for me, I start doing exactly what he did. The moment I inhale, just instant, like the absolute moment, it felt like charcoal was in my chest. Start coughing immediately, just instantly. Fucking drool falling out of my mouth, snot coming out of my nose, eyes watery as hell. Damn near felt like I got pepper sprayed. So at this point, I'm losing half a lung. My uncle's cracking up laughing. Now, after I'm done having my damn near, you know, coma-induced asthma attack, I eventually, you know, calm down and I'm like, okay, I don't feel anything. He's like, yeah, probably not going to for your first time, you know, like, take another hit. I'm like, oh shit, I gotta do that a second time. Cool, let's get to it then. So he ends up, you know, doing the same thing again, packs his bowl, does it, passes it over to me. I pack my bowl. Now this time I'm going in more confident. I'm like, all right, I know how this feels. I'm gonna do it a little bit more, you know, with finesse. Fuck no. Same thing happened again, if not worse. Instead of losing half of the lung, I ended up losing the whole thing. snot, drool, eyes watery. Now I'm super high on top of that. I'm absolutely obliterated. Everything, like if you ever got hit with a OG Modern Warfare 3 flashbang, it felt like that. Like it really did feel like everything was just pure white. I don't remember anything after that. I wake up the next day, it's like 10:30 in the morning. My mother's in the kitchen. She's super pissed off. I'm like, what's your problem? She's like, well, one, minus the fact that you're not in school. I was like, oh fuck, I had school today. And she was like, and two, the fact that you were in a pot coma for the last God knows how many hours. And I hear my uncle cackling up a storm in the background, and I'm like, what the fuck are you laughing at? So he comes from the living room, and he's still cackling, mind you. And he's explaining to me that after we finished smoking, I went to the couch to lay down because I wasn't feeling too good, and I ended up passing out on the couch. Now, mind you, I woke up in my room. So I'm like, how the hell did I get from the couch to my room? And he goes, well, that's real simple. I dragged your big ass. I was like, you fucking dragged me from the couch to my room? And he was like, well, I surely wasn't gonna pick you up. I was like, all right, well, fair enough. You got me there. Not mad at you. Now, mind you, we're having this casual, normal conversation. Mother's still very much sitting there, very pissed off. She's like, if you're gonna smoke, you're only supposed to be smoking with your uncle. Don't make this a habit, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that shit didn't last long at all. After like 3 months of asking my uncle to come back to smoke, I was like, fuck this, I'm gonna just start buying my own pot. Sorry, mom. But, you know, that was the first time I smoked pot, and that was the time where I had a quickie in a church bathroom. Hope you guys liked it. Once again, super sorry for the lack of uploads. You know, life be lifing. But, you know, we got a couple of cool projects coming up. Shout out to my boy Zaid. Shout out to my boy Cayman Islands. And definitely shout out to my boy Tay. Shout out Rare Star. But it's only O, and we're going to see where this goes.